Hi, welcome to I'm Making a Mess with Darlene Morgan, where I talk a lot about the messes that I've been in and I have created. And thanks to the grace of God, I am still here. So I guess that tells me that maybe He kind of has a purpose for me. And I know that He has one for you too. Definitely share, subscribe, look me up on YouTube here, share and subscribe. And also on my online blog titled the same, Unmaking a Mess. I appreciate you guys so very much. In an effort to create some content and videos, I have actually just simply been speaking from the heart without any written script, which is normally what I like to do. I like to try to get things in writing before I actually talk about them. However, given the way my life has been lately with working now and still trying to do things for the shop and take care of my girls and our home and myself, I just find that I don't have a lot of time to do the writing first. Although when I think about things that I want to talk about or write about, they're still pretty heavy on my heart and my mind. And so I guess I'm trying to use those as a way to just, I don't know, talk to you guys about it instead of trying to write it out first. And that way, at least I'm getting content build up on my YouTube channel a lot quicker, because I used to do a lot of my writing when I would go to bed. And in the last couple of weeks, well, actually several weeks, I've had a lot of photos that I've been doing for others. And so when I sit down in bed to watch my Netflix shows, I tend to work on all those photos instead of doing writing. But definitely, I do still feel the calling of God to just kind of like share a lot of my life stories and kind of the things that are happening to me, because I do want to relate to you and I want to share things with you. I mainly want to do it because I think I cannot be the only one feeling this way or going through this or reacting a certain way to some situation. And so I think it's better for me lately to just record without having anything written down. Okay, so that was a lot. I think what I'm going to do, as I've done in the past, is just kind of like tell you a little bit about my last week. And I had to go back and take a look at what I talked about on the previous recording, and it had to do with that Wednesday that was absolutely frantic and terrible because of how I was called out for not doing my share of work at the shop, for the interaction I had with a service manager at a dealership, for my dog eating the hamburgers off the counter. I feel like there was something else, but honestly, I think three things probably just pretty much tops it off. Ever since then, I have not felt like truly myself. And it really bothers me because, you know, I just want to be this encouraging person to you guys. And instead, I'm reaching out to you for encouragement myself. I guess that's what we're here for. I just haven't felt like that feeling that I was having prior to that Wednesday, the 17th, before everything happened. You know, I was feeling good. I was feeling confident, just settled in my skin and as a mom and everything. And then everything just went to heck. And after that, I've got to tell you about this. I mean, I've managed, it's been fine. I have, kind of pushed through, which, speaks volumes for where and how far I've come. But then this past Wednesday, another incident happened. I was at the shop visiting with my two friends, and after they left, I stayed to finish up a little bit of work on my computer, and I overhear this elderly couple get into it in the room next to me, and I had to intervene. I mean, I wasn't going to let that happen in our shop, and of course, it had to do with politics, and it was between two completely different, oh, how do I say this while protecting them? I don't know that I can. One is very liberal and the other one is not. Let me just say that. And the very liberal person, I think, had just had enough. And these aren't like young people, they're like in their 80s, but still very sharp. And it just did not end well with the one that was not liberal, just bursting out of the shop saying that, obviously I sided with her and that had nothing to do with it. Quite honestly, I intervened because what I saw between these two was exactly where our world is going. And it has to do with this division, with this separation, with how people are siding one way or the other without actually respecting each other's opinions. And, one of them tried to really divide, the people that he was sitting with, saying, well, aren't you going to stick up for me? And that really rubbed me wrong because, I just didn't want that. And I'm not going to spend my time talking about them. So I'm going to shut up right now about that. It really upset me. So I think given the combination of last Wednesday and all that stuff happening, and then this Wednesday, and then on top of that, I started a new podcast that has to do with sex trafficking and the horrible things that are happening. I mean, listen, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Darlene, you're bringing this all on yourself. You're filling your mind with these things that aren't pleasant. Well, this is true, but I care about these things. And I'm not saying that they intrigue me. They bother me to the point of where I have this heart for these people. And if I have a heart for it, then I can pray about it. And I think it just stems that passion within me that makes me even that much more of an advocate, an activist. So that combined with, these two people arguing about politics, it wasn't the politics that bothered me. It was the way he treated her and the way he talked about her when she was just 6 feet away. And he made the comment that if she was a male, he would have popped her. And that bugged me. Had nothing to do with the politics. It was that. And the underhand comment, and then the division that he was trying to create. And I realized that the combination of everything and listening to the podcast, which I listened to about 2 episodes and I had to quit. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's happening. And hopefully justice is done because there's just so much evidence. It's obvious to me that I take on all of that. I take it on like it's part of my life. And I have to be super careful about that because, I want to be healthy-minded. I do want to stick up for what's right. But I was talking to a friend a long time ago, and she called me an empath, and I think I mentioned this before in one of my other videos, where I take on all those emotions, those feelings, that reaction. And I have to learn how to redirect it in a way that still helps me to understand that there's horrible things that are happening, but how do I help that situation without it affecting me too horribly? I hope this isn't too, like, what do I say? I hope talking to you guys just isn't too deep for you. And there I go again, totally questioning myself. It's like that's what I've done these past 2 weeks, is question everything that I do and say. And prior to that, I was fine in my skin being who I was. I mean, why do these things change? I don't know. I haven't quite figured that out. All I have figured out, though, is I'm definitely not the person that I used to be. So my reaction to everything is a lot different, and that's a very, very good thing, because I'm not going to Facebook or other social media or even to those two people and just totally blowing off steam. At least I'm not doing that. And I think that's a good thing. It allows me to think about things more carefully and how I respond. So, as a result of the first instant, 2 Wednesdays ago, where the girl called me out about the work I do, it was hurtful and painful. On the other hand, it got me thinking about my position there and how I do need to remove myself. And I think I mentioned that the last time. So I try to find the good in each situation in hopes that's how God wants to use me. With the situation with the two people in our shop, it gave me a chance to let everybody know there that here's what I see, here's what I witness that's happening, and I don't want them to fall into this deep hole that other people are falling into. As far as listening to the podcast, it's stuff that I've heard before, and it's what's happening in our world, and it's horrible, and we tend to turn the other way. And for some people you have to, because it's not easy to listen to this stuff. And I guess that's why there's people like myself that we can speak up for others, and that's okay if you can't. I know that you are doing what you can as well for yourself and your family. Everybody has their own issues in life that they're going through. I just want to be someone that lifts you up. And I know I can do that. But I think you're seeing a side of me that is struggling right now. I know months ago that you got to see that same. As I was saying, I just want you to see a side of me that is struggling. I know that you got to see that several months ago, and then you've been able to see when I'm doing good or when I get past something. Well, this is one of those more solemn moments when I'm just way too introspective. I'm contemplating too much. Things are bothering me. I don't have the usual confidence. I wonder when I'm going to meet somebody, when God is going to send that person. I'm wondering if I'm going to ruin it. I wonder if I'm ruining my daughters, and what they're doing with their boyfriends, or if they decide not to see someone, like, is that on me because I haven't settled down? Does that matter? As you can tell, lots of things going on in my mind. And anyway, that's where I've been these past couple weeks or week and a half. So it's fine. I think sometimes we go through life with all these things that happen to us, and we get either angry or we just shut it out. but we don't take time to really think about it. And yeah, sure, maybe I think too much about it. I just know I'm a lot better than I used to be. I'm not dwelling on things. I just try to take each situation and I ask God, what do you want me to know about this? How do you want me to respond? And I see that as a victory. Moving forward, right now, it's Sunday evening. I went for an incredibly long walk jog today, which absolutely helped me. As you know, being outdoors always helps me and my mind and everything. And so that was a good thing. My daughter and I are getting ready to have chili for dinner and watch, I say, a Halloween show, which I want to watch the Sing version of Halloween. She wants to watch a Christmas show, so I don't know who's going to win on that. I have thought about starting the fire pit just for myself and going outside and sitting in front of it and talking to God. That's what I need. And I need you guys. And I hope you need me too, in a very positive, relatable way that I think society doesn't have enough. And that's all I got for you. All right. More coming up. And as I said on my last recording, I was probably going to get some stuff in writing. And I think I'll probably have time to do that. I have one more or two more batches of photos that I have to work on that I've done for a family and for the volleyball team. So I'm going to get through those. And I'm looking forward to going to work tomorrow. And I'm praying about that just because. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Would love to hear your thoughts and what's happening in your life. And just that roller coaster of emotions that I know you guys go through too. So let's continue to lift each other up. Let's not divide one another. And remember to ask God to come into your heart and your mind and to be with you throughout everything. Just remember that with God, He does make it possible. He does not make things go away or has the ability, although, prayer definitely helps. He's just there to help get you through it. And so I am definitely a testimony to that. That's it. Signing off. You guys all take care. Love you so much. Appreciate you. Remember to share and subscribe and reach out to me absolutely anytime. All right.